Alexandra Holroyd is the En Marche elected representative for French citizens living in Northern Europe, including those in the UK, and joins us from Paris. Thanks for your time. How does it feel over there, Alex? Is this a match of equals now, or do you see Britain as begging? Theresa May has to charm Macron tomorrow. I wonder if you think he's charmable.
I don't think there's any begging question here. I think everybody is looking for the British Prime Minister to outline a plan, a concrete plan which can be rolled out in months to come. And they've been waiting for that plan for quite some time now. And I think what the President will be trying, or will be hoping to hear, is a plan which is not an extension demand for a second extension before what is likely to be an extension demand for a third extension. So a concrete, actionable plan backed by Parliament.
Just tell us what that concrete plan does sound like then. If she goes and says there are progress because I'm talking to Jeremy Corbyn, is that a concrete plan?
I think what the President will be looking for is a plan which says, listen, this is what we want to roll out this programme in front of us, and I have the backing of Parliament behind me to do so. Now, it's very clear at the moment, at least to my eyes, that it's very difficult in the UK to come up with precisely what the UK wants as a relationship with the EU. So my view is that that plan should be an ask for a long extension to create a time to reflect where both parties, the UK and the EU, can take a real deep look at to what they want as a future relationship.
Just to be real,
while the UK thinks about its side, the EU can progress and reform itself, and in the end the UK can decide if it wants to remain in that reformed Europe or if it wants to continue leaving, and if it wants to continue leaving, under what conditions and what its relationship with the EU should be.
So just to be really realistic about this, clearly she won't be able to have consensus from Parliament before she goes to meet Macron or Merkel before tomorrow, Wednesday. So the EU must be minded, presumably, to give her that extension. I mean, Macron's not going to say no to this. It's going to hurt everyone, isn't he?
So I struggle to understand the rationale of having, because this is not the first extension, right? It would be a second extension.
Sure.
And I struggle to understand the rationale of having a second short extension without a clear view as to where it brings us. Because I think that the logical end, as things currently stand, would be that you end up with a request for a third extension. And I think the EU membership isn't, a subscription-based service where you can just every month ask for another month.
Understood.
So at this moment, if that's not clear, I think the request to have a long extension and a long period of reflection so that the UK Parliament, the UK Government, the UK Prime Minister can decide what they want and then come back to the table with a clear view of their relationship with the EU.
Sorry, you will understand the logic is that the British government doesn't want to have to put this country through EU European elections. So if it is long, and if we then sit European elections, and if the voters return disruptive candidates, is that a worry to you? Is that worth the pain?
So I don't think it's about the result of the European elections. It's very clear that if you're a member of the European Union, you have to run European elections. But I think it is true that the bigger concern is that it's very difficult to imagine the logic of having a member state whose main policy is leaving the EU vote on, for instance, the European budget, which is voted as a 7-year programme, hence has a key role in shaping what the EU will do 5 years after it has left potentially the EU. So it's very clear that this extension would have to come with certain limitations as to what the UK would and wouldn't be able to participate on at European level, very clearly.
OK. Alexandra Holroyd, thank you very much.